Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir me sada Yena Akshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Viva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste, welcome everyone. So we were looking at, in our last class, we were looking at this Adashabda, feminine, masculine, neuter. So let's just quickly look at the neuter form. This is on page 121, 121 of your book. We'll look there, so you can chant the Adas feminine with me. Aso, amu, amuhu, amum, amu, amuhu, amuya, amubhyam, amubihi, amushyai, amubhyam, amubhyaha. 5-1. Amushyaha, amubhyam, amubhyaha. Amushyaha, amuyoho, amusham. Amushyam, amuyoho, amushu. Okay, there's no sambodhana. Okay. So today what we're going to do is we're actually going to be looking at the next shabda. So I know that with this one, Adha Shabda is quite difficult. I recognize that. But it's not as important, I would say, as the next two that we're going to get. So I'd rather spend more time on the next two that we're going to see. Not that what's important versus not important. It's hard to say, but we're going to see a lot of the next word. So if you open up your book, the next page, so 122, Yuṣmad and asmad. We're going to be looking at that today. So you'll see page 122 looking like this, Yuṣmad and asmad. So we've been looking at pronouns, sarvanama shabda. And here's two more sets of pronouns. Now, the forms are a little bit going to be different than what we've seen before, but we're going to take it pretty slowly. So we see two different sarvanama. We see Yuṣmad. Yuṣmad means you. So I like that Yuṣmad, it says you in the beginning of it. You, Yuṣmad. Okay, so you can't forget it. Yuṣmad, you. And then asmad. Asmad means I or we. You even see the word us. Us, I, we, us. Okay. So Yuṣmad and asmad. Okay. So another way of showing the meaning of it, they indicate the listener. So the listener is you, and the speaker is asmad. Okay. Now here's one good set of news. Yuṣmad and asmad have the same forms in all three lingas. All three genders have the same forms. Okay, so Tvam Devadattaha. This is Devadatta, we know is masculine. Tvam is going to be masculine, right? But it's also the same in feminine or neuter, right? If we say Tvam Parvati, feminine. Tvam Mitram, and Napumsakalinga. Okay, so we technically give it a gender based on what it's connected with. So that's why we're technically giving it a different gender. But the forms are all the same. Okay. We see this with, so Yuṣmad and asmad. So aham devadattaha, I am Devadatta. Aham Parvati, I am Parvati, so I'm feminine. And aham mitram, I am a friend. Napumsakalinga. Okay. So, and if you just quickly glance at the chart, so quickly just put your eyes down at the chart there, you'll see that there's alternate forms for some of the words. 2-1, 2-3, 4-1, 4-3, 6-1, 6-3. And that same goes for asmad. You'll see these alternate forms in second, fourth, and sixth case. Second, fourth, and sixth cases. So that is what's being said here. In second, fourth, and sixth case, they're optional forms. Okay, that's all that's being said, is that in those three, second, fourth, and sixth, they're optional forms. Okay, so Ishwaraha Tvam Tva Rakshatu. Ishwara, so this is Lot Lakara, may the Lord protect, may Ishwara protect you. Now it can be Tvam or Twa. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It depends on what the speaker wants to say. They have no difference in meaning. Okay, and this is also in asmad, mom or ma. We see that in the fourth case, right? Namaha tubhyam. Or te namaha. Right? It doesn't matter. They're both tubhyam or te. So I can say namaste, or I can say namastubhyam. Okay, both are the same meaning. So you see 4-1, those, and then mahyam or me. And I'm skipping, we're gonna go through all of these very carefully in the chart. But mahyam, we see this for asmad, mahyam or me, swasti, may there be auspiciousness for me. Now the same goes with 4-2, 4-3, that there's alternate different forms. And in sixth case also. So 2, 4, 6, all the even numbers have these alternate forms, tava or te, or mama or me. Okay. Okay, before I go on, any questions right now? Okay. You can put a question mark in the chat or raise your hand using the Zoom. Now, when we are, so now let's look at carefully at Yuṣmad, right? Yuṣmad is you or the listener, right? In all three genders. What we're going to focus on is we're just going to focus on the first two cases right now. Okay? Just the first two cases. So you can relax a little bit and just grab this first two cases. Okay? You can repeat the first three after me. Tvam, yuvam, yuyam. Okay, notice how they don't look like Yuṣmad. Yeah. And that's just how it is. There's sutras that just tell you to replace it with tvam, for example. But we know, right? Tvam means you, right? So tvam, and then you see you, yuvam, so, and then yuyam. Tvam, yuvam, yuyam. Okay, then the second case. Tvam, twa, yuvam, vam, yushman, vaha. Let's do one set and then we'll do the other set. How about that? Tvam, yuvam, yushman. One more time. Tvam, yuvam, yushman. Okay, now the other set. Twa, vam, vaha. Okay. So notice how these two are the same, right? 1, 2, 2, 2. These two are the same, right? So just something to note. Sometimes I tend to get this for 1, 1 and 2, 1, tuam and tuam mixed up. Okay, so we have to figure out something to remember this. And now this doesn't make any sense, but I don't know if this helps. So I remember tuam is you. Yeah, tat tuamasi, right? You are that Brahma. So tuam. And so we see tuam, it's to you. It's a little longer. Tuam, to you. To you, tuam. Okay, to you. That little extra ah reminds me that's a little bit like almost further to giving it to you. Doesn't make any sense if you think about it, but that's I trying to remember some difference. But tattamasi is a good way of, again, yeah, thank you for that, for remembering tuam. Okay. Now let's look at the asmad, just first two cases. Aham, avam, vayam. Aham, avam, vayam. Aham, avam, vayam. And then mam, avam, asman. And then we see ma, no, naha. So it's almost like you have to remember more than what we have in the past. Ma, ma, Avam, no, asman, naha. Okay. Let's look at some practice problems. You can have this in front of you. It'll help, right? It'll help. And what we need to do, it's not that it's so important to memorize these first two, but we need to be able to recognize it from the text, right? We need to be able to recognize it from the text. So if you have this open on your book, but also now we're going to flip to the back of the book. We're going to flip to exercise 34. Exercise 34. I don't have the page number. I believe it's like 183 or something like that. You can tell me in the chat. Yeah, 183. That was just from memory. Okay. 183, exercise 34. You can see it there on my screen. So we're just going to look at these first 8 right now. Okay. If we are to remember anything, we really need to remember aham and tvam. Aham and tvam. Those first, actually the first cases for both are really important. Tvam, yuvam, yuyam. Then aham, avam, vayam. Those first cases are really important. Okay, so the first one you see aham. So I. We haven't seen all of these verbs in a while. So pashyami. So let's start with the verb, right? Pashyami. Drish dhatu. 1p. Meaning drish is to see. Lat lakaraha. Kartri prayoga. And we say me. It's first one. First one. Okay, so it's talking about I. So who sees? Aham pashyami. Whether aham is there or not, if you see pashyami, aham is always going to be implied. Okay, these two are best friends, that me and aham. I and me. Aham and pashyami. Okay, that me. I see. Who do you see? Tvam. Okay, this is not tvam. Tvam. Tvam is 2, 1 of Yuṣmad. So I see you. You are the object of my seeing. So this tvam is Yuṣmad śabdha, dvitiya vibhakti, ekavachanam, and this is karmani dvitiya to pashyami. Okay. It's karmani dvitiya. It's the object of seeing. It's the karma, the object of seeing, pashya, of seeing, right? So it's the object. It's what you see. So I see you. Okay. Number 2. Tvam kutra nivasasi. Tvam kutra nivasasi. Okay, so you gotta, this might help a little bit. Pick up the verb nivasasi. Okay, this is ni upasarga vas dhatu. Vas is 1p to stay. And then madhyama purusha ekavachana, just like bhavasi. Okay. Second one. So nivasasi. So this means you stay, you reside, you dwell. Okay. You stay, right? So now, so we know that the C always goes with, is going to go with, the C is going to always be friends with tvam. Tvam nivasasi. So whether tvam is there or not, even if I just said nivasasi, tvam will be implied. Because when I'm talking about madhyama purusha ekavachanam, it always going to be implying tvam, you, because it's second person. Right? I hope that makes sense. Second person means you, tvam. Okay, so this is, so tvam is Yuṣmad, is the pratipadika is Yuṣmad. This is dvitiya vibhakti. No, pratama vibhakti ekavachanam, right? You stay, you reside. Okay, you reside. This is kartari, sorry, I didn't finish it. Kartari prathama to nivasasi. You are the doer of staying. Now kutra, I don't know if we learned kutra. Okay, it's kim shabda. It means where, kutra. It's an avyaya. When you add that tra, becomes avyaya. So it means where, kutra, where. Okay, so we haven't quite learned that, but tvam kutra nivasasi. So you can make that note. Kutra means where. So tvam kutra nivasasi. You stay where? That's a question. Okay, because it's avyaya, we don't need to give it a case. We don't need to give it. So this is how I also write kutra. The tra. Okay.
I'm wondering how to write in the sense. Do you write kim shabda? I mean, how do you write the expansion?
Oh, okay.
Not.
Yeah. So with kutra, how, if you're gonna write it out in the sheet, so what you would do is you can just put that's tricky. I would just take it as kutra shabda, because where it goes through a lot of transformations, so we don't need to make it complicated. You can just write kutra shabda, meaning where. It's avyaya. Yeah. Okay, number 3, avam patava. This is, it sounds so Sanskrit. Avam patava. You can really impress someone by saying these sentences. Okay, so patava, right? Okay, so let's look at it. Bhavati, bhavataha, bhavanti. Bhavasi, bhavataha, bhavata. Bhavami, bhavava, bhavama. Oh, we don't have it here. We have it in lot lakara. But you know why I brought this up is because you know it's going to be looked like that. Right? Bhavavaha. Even if we didn't learn, because we didn't learn lot lakara, you know it's going to be first person, dual. but I brought the chart here as well, just so that we can see Lot Lakara. Lot Lakara is very similar to Lat Lakara. Mostly we see these corners. Instead of bhavati, it'd be bhavatu. Instead of bhavanti, bhavantu. Here, when you have second person singular, it's just the dhatu. And then whatever change needs to take place for the anga. So we had an akara, so bhava. Ani, ava, ama. So instead of ami, it's ani. Instead of avaha, it's ava. Instead of amaha, it's ama. Okay, so Lot Lakara is not too complex. Lot Lakara, what it means is it means a command or a request. It can be either you're asking it nicely or you're commanding it. So when I see patava, pat dhatu, 1p, Lot Lakaraha, kartari prayoga, uttama purushaha, dvivachanam. Like that. So, may we too read. So this avam is already implied in the word patava. Avam, right, is asmad śabdha. Prathama vibhakti dvivachanam. So avam patava. It can be also tutu, 1, 2, or tutu, but we need a karta for this. So you would have to say avam patava avam. We too read to us too. So it doesn't really make much sense. We too read to us too. Okay. Harprasad, do you have a question there? Let me. Please go ahead and unmute yours.
Mahodaya.
Yes.
You said pat dhatu lot lakara.
Lot lakara. Yeah.
But why do you say lot? Is still a lat lakara, right? As far as the lakara is concerned.
If you do lat lakara, it'll be like, you see bhavavaha. So if it was lat lakara, it would be patavaha. Lot lakara doesn't have that visarga at the end.
Okay, so even
So if we put a, yeah.
Even in the dhatu, when we say, I thought the lakara refers to the dhatu. Like when you say lat lakara, it is referring to pat.
So the dhatu can undergo any of the lakaras.
Oh, okay. So that
The
is why
lakara more has to do with the pratyaya.
got it. I got it. Thank you. Yeah. No.
So yeah, lakara has to do with the pratyaya. So that's why we see vaha is in lat lakara, and just this ava is in lot lakara. Okay, so avam patava, or we can say avam patavaha also. And it would just mean we too read. Instead of may we too read. Okay, not much difference. One is a request and one is just saying the fact. Okay. Let's skip number 4 for now. Number 5, yuyam acharatha. Okay, this is also, so acharatha. Okay, look at this chart. Do you see that tha ending? Bhavati, bhavataha, bhavanti. Bhavasi, bhavataha, bhavatha. Bhavami, bhavavaha, bhavamaha. Right? So, acharatha. So this is a upasarga, char dhatu, 1p. Achar, when you put it together, if you look it up in the dhatu, I did the homework for us. So this is 1p char. Achar can mean all of these different things. We'll see what fits best. Act, perform, practice, treat, behave toward, roam, follow, resort to. A lot of different meanings. This follow will fit best in our context, and we'll see why. So acharatha, so this is a upasarga char dhatu, to follow. This is lat lakaraha kartari prayoga madhyama purusha, second person bahuvachanam. So as soon as I say second three, this yuyam will come. It's implied. Okay, because second person implies you. So second case, Yuṣmad śabdha, tvam, tva, yuvam, vam, Yuṣmad vaha. So this yuvam. Sorry. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, it's the karta. Yuyam. Where am I? Yeah, yuyam, sorry. Tvam, yuvam, yuyam, tvam, tva, yuvam, vam, Yuṣman vaha. So when I say yuyam acharatha, that's that acharatha. Oh, that's why I'm confused. So it's 1-3, but the acharatha is second 3. Yes, that still works. Right? Because it's still implying you in plural. So you, yum, you all, and then acharatha, follow. You all follow. Now it can mean any of those other meanings. I just chose follow out of all of those because we don't have a context. Right? When we say acharya, sometimes it's in the sense of following or in the sense of collecting as well. So yuyam acharatha. You all follow, right? Because it's plural. 6, tvam prichami. Tvam prichami. So, prich dhatu. Let me see if we have it here. I tried to pull it up for us so that you can see where I'm, how to find. So these are all in the beginning of the books. I just pulled up some of them just so we have it handy. Prich dhatu, 6p, to ask. Prich dhatu, 6p, to ask. So it's prichami. So this is lat lakaraha, kartri prayoga, right? First one, prichami. So if I say prichami, what is implied? if I say, you see that ami, prichami, what's implied is aham prichami, I ask. Do we see any aham here? No, we have to supply it. It's implied, or you can literally write it in there. Oftentimes we do that in the Bhashyam to make it simpler. Aham, so we know. Aham prichami, I ask. Tvam. Tvam is Yuṣmad. Yuṣmad is the Pratipadika. Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachana. Right? It's not tvam, it's tvam. Tvam is 2-1. So I ask you. Okay, how are we feeling so far? I know we're moving a little slowly, I know they're a little hard to get, but we're just going to go through these practices. We should just be able to recognize some of these cases, right? Tvam mam vada. Okay, vada is also lot lakara. When you see lot lakara, this madhyama purusha, second person singular, looks like the dhatu itself. And here we get an akara because it's in the first gana, first group. So just like bhava, we get vada. May you speak. Okay. When it's madhyama purusha ekavachanam, when it's second one, what is implied? Tvam vada, right? If you're second person singular, it's always going to be tvam vada. So you speak, mom, to me. Okay. So tvam is Yuṣmad Pratipadika, Prathama Vibhakti, Kartari Prathama to Vada. You speak, and then mom is asmad, Pratipadika is asmad. It's Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam, Karmani Dvitiya to Vada. So you speak to me. May you speak to me, because it's Lotakara. May you speak to me. Or it can be a command. You speak to me. Okay. Saha. Oh, we have to end. Okay. Let's take we'll continue with this in our next class. What you can do is, for homework, go through all 8 of these and you can write them out systematically. And just need to get more familiar with the chart a little bit too. We're going to go, these are a little bit harder, so we're going to spend some time with these. We'll take a 3 or 4 minute break. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om.